So, BAFTAs are done. Haven't been able to actually see the ceremony itself because I haven't had enough time and whatever. But certainly looking at the results and the winners and everything, some high-profile snubs and others that it's like I'm very pleased about. So, going through them in alphabetical order of award, leaving out like the top three of best new IP, best British game, and best game itself. The special award for Brenda Romero, you know, it's weird because you always think John is like the main guy and creator and all that, because that's all you hear about with like Doom and Daikatana and all those sort of things. But Brenda's contribution over the years has been pretty vast itself, so and also it's good to see a woman join the fellowship this year, because whether it's the first woman that's gone into the fellowship under the video game banner, maybe, I'm not entirely sure off the top of my head, but certainly congratulations to her. So for the main awards, Artistic Achievement went to Inside, which I think when I talked about it I had no problem with any of the 6 really winning in the category, because they all were very beautiful looking. But certainly won't be the last you'll see of Inside. I'll leave out debut game as well, as it turns out. For Revolving Game, that went to Rocket League, which, again, I really don't have that much problems with. The way that's developed over the last 12 months since its release, you know, back nearly, well, probably 2 years ago now, I would say, is pretty damn good. And yeah, pleased to see that get recognition. It's a shame that like stuff like Hitman did, but I don't know whether that's come to bite them in terms of, I get the idea of the episodic content, but I think only now people are getting to experience the game because they actually wait until the stuff comes out. Which makes you wonder how much the model of season passes is going to work. I guess we'll see next week with Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series, which I might be buying. I won't commit myself to it. For Best Family Game, I'm overjoyed because it actually went to Overcooked. I didn't fully know the details of this game until they actually did a proper like mainstream news report on it. These 2 guys were down to their last money. Yeah, 2 guys, you know, down to their last like 10, 15 pounds, you know, so that's like $15, $20 in terms of money. And they developed this game. You know, Ghost Town Games, the studio of 2. Team 17 has picked it up as publishing it. And it really is a fun sort of multiplayer party game for all ages, and the fact that, you know, it got Best Family Game, I'm overjoyed for those guys, you know, to come from pretty much nothing and to get BAFTA recognition. We'll get to that. Game design went to Inside, which, considering all the love for Limbo a few years back, I guess that does make sense. And I guess the mechanics and everything, you know, deserve plaudits. For Best Innovation, it went to That Dragon Cancer. And from what I've heard, it was another great speech from the devs. You know, the husband and wife. I think it was the wife that made the speaking this time, after the husband made the speech at the Games Awards, which really, you know, got everybody tearing up. But yeah, it's good to see that gets in for innovation, because obviously the idea of the innovation is the game is celebrating their kid's life, but explaining the situation that they had to go through at the same time. So it's a very ballsy thing, but I'm pleased to see that pretty much, if there's any one thing that has gone across all the awards that have happened, it's really been some sort of recognition for that dragon cancer, which is brilliant. Best mobile game went to Pokemon Go, I guess. People are still playing that. I never see anybody playing it. It's like, has it gone out of fashion? I don't know. Best multiplayer went to Overwatch, as I sort of expected. Best music didn't go to Doom. And spoilers, Doom got nothing. Doom got snubbed out of everything, which is rather interesting. Instead, they gave recognition to Lyndon Holland for doing the soundtrack for Virginia. Interesting twist. Certainly a good soundtrack, I personally think. It shouldn't have won. It probably should have gone to Doom, because that's sort of a soundtrack that makes the game even better. With Virginia, it's like, I'm partially not sure. It's rather like the soundtrack to last year's Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. It's there, but it's like, it's sort of like just a soothing thing to play in the background sort of thing, rather than anything, deeply menacing, or, to really kick you into the mood of the thing, like an Uncharted 4 would do, or a Last Guardian, or a Doom, or an Abzu for that matter. Also, Inside was nominated for that, which is interesting because there's not that much music in it. Okay. Narrative went to Inside, which is interesting because the story is so open-ended about what it actually is. But it's like, do you give credit to a half-assed written story because they've written it half-assed, it actually makes it better? Because it leaves you to have to think of what to do. I don't know. Best original property went to Inside, which, yeah, I guess it's original. I always find that problem, because obviously original I see is something that's got nothing to do with the rest of it, which of course it does, but because there's such similar themes and ties, or well, perhaps not ties, but certainly connections with Limbo, it's like, then in performers, another pleasant surprise, Cissy Jones for her portrayal of Delilah over the radio. In Firewatch, got best performance, beating the Uncharted 4 guys, so really pleased for her. The Esports Awards went to Clash Royale. It's annoying because obviously there's like Google Play gift cards on in stores, and one of the big stores over here has got buy this and you get extra loot and whatever for, I don't know if it's Clash of Kings or Clash Royale or Clash of Clans, sorry. It's one of the Clash games, and it's like, you really don't want me to buy a gift card from you before Easter, do you? Because nope. It's like, it's quite enough of that. The Ones to Watch award went to, I think it's up in Tayside, I think it said, Among the Stones. I don't even know if that's out, but I'm intrigued. Because if it got a BAFTA, it's like, hopefully it's alright. So, the three big ones. Best debut game went to Firewatch. Campo Santo getting some recognition, good to see. Best British game went to Overcooked. So yeah, again, they basically get the second biggest award of the night, saying this is the best game that was made here. Really overjoyed for Ghost Town for that, certainly. Best game itself, You know, my love for Stardew Valley didn't win. But surprisingly, Overwatch didn't either. Uncharted 4, you know, it was nominated for, I think, 9 awards and only took 1, but it sort of took away the one that people will remember. It took Best Game, which, you know, it's good. It's weirdly good to see that one actually gets some recognition after everybody going Overwatch, 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 Overwatch. It's, you know, it's pleasant to see that there is another game that isn't Overwatch that's actually getting Game of the Year awards. So, you know, I will say plaudits to BAFTA, because they obviously didn't go obvious on a lot of the stuff. At the same time, I feel some of the stuff probably that did get recognised probably shouldn't. You know, there should have been a bit more spreading of the love rather than 4 awards to Inside. Which... Oh wait, audio achievement. I don't think I mentioned that one. That went to Last Guardian, so that actually got something. But yeah, Inside got Artistic, New IP, Original Property, Best Narrative, and Game Design. I'd have liked to have seen possibly something else win, because when you get something that runs away with it too much like that, which is weird, because I always see Inside as indie, but they've like become so big over Limbo and now Inside that it's like, are they sort of like higher tier indie than certainly something like Overcooked or whatever? Okay, they're with like a recognised publisher in Team 17, but the studio themselves, the 2 guys, you know, that's that's practically as indie you can get. The only more indie is if it's only one person. Stardew Valley. Am I ranting? But yeah, I think overall, considering that's the award season finished for the games until probably around October, and we get into the news cycle. Overall, you can clearly see that even from the list of nominated games, you know, taking the winners and the nominees to put together, 2016 was a strong year. We've already had some pretty strong Game of the Year contenders within the first 3 or 4 months of this year. Let's hope 2017 can deliver. And I'm not talking about consoles. I'm looking at you, Nintendo Switch and Microsoft Scorpio. Also, why do you name your console after a Dirty Harry villain?